Guys like Artur's work.
Właśnie, jest już pierwsze pytanie. Proszę, przeniesiemy mikrofon. Gdyby ktokolwiek z Państwa chciał, proszę podnieść rękę i będziemy starać się, żeby każdy dostał mikrofon.
I'm not sure, but I think that you said before that the film was released in August
Last year.
Last year. How was it received in India? Because for us, you know, the film in itself is a little bit different from what we are used to. So, was it well received? Was there a lot of sort of feedback from the women or from men as well?
Yes, exactly. That's what I said before the film started. That when it released last year in India, it was very well received, in fact, and people loved the film. It was critically acclaimed as well as the audiences completely loved it. In fact, there were a lot of parents who were very inspired to take their children, especially their daughters, to self-defense classes. In fact, after the film release, there were a lot of incidents around India where we heard of girls beating up the boys. And they all came on the news in India, and they in fact said that they were inspired by this film. So I take credit for all those girls who beat up the boys. So yes.
That's always good.
Sorry. Hello, ma'am. Been a fan of you for a long time.
Thank you.
Just a little question. I've been outside India for some time in my life, and I see both sides of the coin. I just talked about the film. It was amazing. Thank you very much for bringing up this topic. That as an Indian, I feel proud of that somebody can do that kind of work over here. But if you remember a movie called Slumdog Millionaire some time ago, and of course that was not an Indian movie, but made in the Indian backdrop. What happens is a lot of my friends who are Polish or around in Europe, they ask me this question very often. Does that really happen in India? I mean, it becomes very difficult for me to answer them because stereotypically in a film you exaggerate some things, of course, to make it for the audience. So, I mean, is there a way I can answer if somebody asks me about this film, that is that something happening really in India? Is it safe for me to be there? Well, of course I know as a country.
For sure.
Of course. I mean, as a country, I know it's an amazing place. There are some friends of mine who have been to India and know India more than I would ever know. But as an Indian, I would like to answer these people in the right sense. And if you give me an answer, I will be more than obliged that this was something told by the actress herself.
See, India is, as we all know, it's very huge. A lot of states, very diverse, a lot of cultures, very, very different from one state to the other. Like if you cross the border from one state to the other, you'll see a completely different India in every state. So you can't define India in one sentence. If your friends want to visit, they can visit the Himalayas in the north, they can visit the desert in Rajasthan, they can visit the backwaters in Kerala, and they can visit the forest area in Ranthambore, they can see the tigers. So there are a lot of different places in India that you can visit. What we have shown in this film is not at all exaggerated. The crime branch officers are exactly the way they're portrayed in this film. The crime branch officer Shivani Shivaji Roy, who I'm playing in the film, there are a lot of Shivani Shivaji Roys in India who are working undercover as crime branch officers. They're extremely talented, very courageous, very brave, and in fact, some of them are even better than the men. She's definitely not a fictional character, not a superhuman character. She's a very real character. And in terms of trafficking, I think trafficking is an evil which presides today in the entire world. So I wouldn't pinpoint India and say that trafficking exists only in India and it's a problem that only happens in India. No, trafficking is a problem which globally we all are facing. Today, I think terrorism has come to the top of all the people's focus because that's supposed to be the most gruesome crime that takes place today. But trafficking is as serious a crime as terrorism, because you're terrorizing somebody's soul, and especially kids. So it's a par with terrorism. But if you see Eastern Europe, there are a lot of girls who are trafficked from East Europe to UK and to the different parts of the world. Southeast Asia is facing the same problem of trafficking. And what we have shown in this film, especially if you see the end, when we end the film, we've actually given the actual statistic as to how every 8 minutes a girl disappears in India. And exactly the statistics that we actually found out when we released the film. So yes, this problem is definitely there. Children from Bangladesh, from Nepal, from Pakistan, from India, you know, it's a really, really serious crime. And the motive behind making this film is to make people aware of this problem. There are a lot of people who are ignorant about the fact that trafficking takes place. Because some people are conservative, they are shy, they don't want to talk about children getting trafficked. Because it's a very shameful thing according to them. There are a lot of parents who refuse to show their children the reality because they want to protect their children. But I would like to tell all those parents that today is the time where there is danger everywhere. We can't paint a rosy picture of the world. We have to tell them that yes, there is a good side and there's a bad side. And please be aware and prepare your children from the home, because there's no use regretting about it later. And films like Mardaani actually help children and parents come together to watch a film. And in fact, after the film, I got so many calls from parents who actually thanked me to make this film. They said, Rani, thank you, because my 16-year-old daughter went and saw the film and she came back and told me that, Dad, I realized today why you stopped me from going out on the nights. So there are a lot of questions that are answered when you show a film like this. So in a way, it's made for entertainment. Secondly, this is a film with a social cause, with a very, very strong message. It is a film that showcases a modern Indian woman, where you can see Shivani Shivaji Roy is a modern Indian woman. She's strong, she's intelligent, she's smart. And so many times we think that Indian women don't have a voice. Here Shivani has a voice, and a really loud one. And she makes her point very, very clear. So yes, it's a film with a lot of messages. It's a film that does not tend or is not meant to scare you from coming to India, but it's a film to help you get aware of the situation around you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
My name is Rani. I do 2 jobs. I work as a professor as well as I work for an Indian news agency also. It's my privilege to see this movie, and I've seen you in black also.
Right, thank you.
And there are 2 different genres.
Yes.
And I will be grateful if we can have, let's say, Rani Mukerji in different stages of your career.
Right.
We should have at least 7 movies in foreseeable future.
Yes.
I mean, I should not compare you because we have done last year Smita Patil in retrospect.
Right.
The same way we should do Rani Mukerji.
So sweet. Thank you. Thank you.
And my other thing is, after doing such a great movie, do you have any other great movie in the foreseeable future?
In the possible future, I want to make babies for sure. That's my main agenda now. But movies, yes, a lot of them. Because as an actor, I'm very, very hungry for good roles. There is a fire in my belly that keeps burning all the time, and I keep getting excited if somebody comes with a really, really good role to me, which can challenge me as an actor. So yes, I keep waiting for that role. Right now, there's nothing that is exciting me back in India, but if there's any Polish film director who wants to sign me, I'm absolutely ready.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, Artur, come on, become my agent. Come my DOP to my agent. You know, Artur is really, really feeling shy. He's constantly telling me, Rani, why are you talking about me? It's about you today. And it's about you, Artur. And really, he's a delight to work with. I love you, Artur.
Hi, my name is Shweta. First of all, great performance. Thank you very much for a great show. And it's so refreshing to see such a women-empowered movie. And I think Bollywood is slowly catching up, and it's really amazing to see this change. My question for you is, you've taken this sensitive subject here, and I personally worked on this when I was in Hyderabad with a few trafficked victims. I was a volunteer, but I was working in some homes which would provide shelter for domestic violence subjected women and little children who were raped and who were trafficked and rescued. It was impossible for me to work in the beginning because just in the beginning of their stories I would just tear up. It took me so much, and it actually took me a kind of a counseling from one of the directors of the NGOs to learn how to work with them, and that itself took me 3 weeks. My question for you is, how did you prepare for this? Because you must have seen so many people, met so many people, seen so many stories. How did you actually prepare emotionally? Because you take this movie in one hand, in one calm, one note. The title is Mardaani, but it's run by one woman. That's brilliant. So how did you prepare for this?
I think for every actor, I think the preparation is very different. For me, I think my preparation as a physical preparation was I had to learn martial arts to make Shivani look very real when she's doing action. Because the scary part was that we should not have people in the audience laughing when she's doing action. She should look like a cop and she should look believable. So my main focus was that I do that part really well and it should look real, because for cops, they go through very intensive training where they learn different kinds of martial arts. They learn a lot of things like, archery, shooting. They go through a lot of training to basically become officers. Emotionally, I would say that as an Indian citizen, I think for the last 2-3 years, as I think the entire world would know, that we've been subjected to news of molestation, rapes, gang rapes, and as an individual, as a citizen of my country, I think we all are very angered. There is a lot of anger inside us because we can't do anything about it. And when we hear about stories of rape and gang rape, it just makes our blood boil, because it's the most inhuman act that can happen ever. So I think Mardaani was born out of that anger. The film, the story, the fact that we made the film, I think came from a collective anger from the entire team, because everybody in India wants to do something about it, but they don't know how, because we don't have the law in our hands. We're not lawmakers there. So I think every individual, I'm an actor, I'm from the entertainment industry, there are other people from different fields like journalists, they are doing their bit. We as actors, we have a voice through our films, through our cinema. So I think this was a way of expressing that anger. I think what you see in the film, like the anger that I have in my eyes, it's, I think, built in from what we've been going through, what we've been hearing. And it's just a reaction to all those incidents. So I wouldn't say that there was a preparation for it, because we are in a way living with those incidents every day. When we pick up the newspaper and we read something like that, it really kills us internally. Like it damages us, it damages our soul to actually think that an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old gets raped by a 60-year-old uncle, or stuff like that we keep hearing in the papers. So I would not say that I was preparing for a role like this, but I was waiting to play a role like this. In fact. Thanks.
I have a question, a comment.
Yes.
My question is, I understand that there are a lot of brave police officers in India, and that they're doing a lot to, and that these officers are doing a lot to combat human trafficking and this type of thing. One of the things we hear a lot on the news media about is Indian citizens complaining that there's actually not much done by the police, and that there's a lot of apathy and even corruption on the part of the police, you know, that is kind of allowing these kind of things to happen. And so it's kind of, you know, you have these, you know, really brave, hard-working cops, but a lot of them are not really doing as much as they should. And I wanted to ask you what your opinion is about that. And I also wanted to say that, you know, this is in no way to stereotype India, because I'm American and I'm originally from Houston. And just last night I was listening to deliberations from the U.S. Congress where they were trying to draft a bill to tackle human trafficking. And one of the congressmen from Houston said that Houston has become a hub for human trafficking for this exact same kind of thing, you know, children that are 10, 11 years old. And I thought, you know, nothing could shock me anymore, right? But I was really kind of shocked. So that was my question and my comment. And so,
see, actually, to put it very clearly, unfortunately, a lot of bravery or a lot of brave acts that are done by the police, I don't think those make for good copy or good news. I think what makes for good copy and good news is when you're talking about somebody doing some mistake or there's something gone wrong, and that makes for great copy because as humans, I think we are drawn to anything which gives us controversy. Or we get drawn to something that is bad. Something good bores us. We are bored with hearing that, oh, she's so good, oh, he's so good, oh, he's so brave. We don't want to hear that. During my research for this film, when I met a lot of crime branch officers, a lot of policemen, yes, there is corruption, and I would like to tell you that corruption is everywhere. Like, I don't think there is any state in the world or any country in the world that can say that we are 100% corruption free. So I would like to say that yes, India does have corruption, but it also has a lot of brave officers who combat this. There are a lot of policemen and a lot of officers that I met who are working on trafficking. There are a lot of, in fact, women police who I met who are, you know, trying to break this racket. But trafficking, as we all know, is a huge, huge organized crime, and there's a lot of involvement from a lot of people. So yes, it is going to be a very tough fight to combat it, but I think a start is always necessary, and with films like Mardaani and with these bills getting passed, I think the focus is coming back to trafficking where it had got lost. Because when I spoke to a lot of people in India, especially the officers, they said that the trafficking files were probably down below in the rack. But now, because of this film, the files have come slightly ahead, slightly up. So yes, there will be a change, there will be a gradual change, but I hope and pray to God that all those children, all those souls which are already damaged, I hope there is some rescue. There are a lot of NGOs who are working day and night to actually combat this. A lot of NGOs, workers are working towards saving the trafficked children and trafficked women. So more power to those NGOs, and through us I think we can bring an awareness. So it's really important.
We have to finish, but maybe one last question, two last questions, okay.
So Rani, first of all, welcome to Europe, welcome to Poland, welcome to Warsaw. Do you want to hear a secret?
Yes.
So I've been listening to the feedback of people here for the last 2 hours, which I would love to share with you. Artur was saying that, Rani, why are you telling about me? It's your evening. So first of all the ladies here, they are so damn jealous. You look beautiful. It's even worse for us, but you are great. And the feedback I've heard from the public is that, you know, we were expecting a huge star here. And I think you shine even more because you make this isn't about acting, not about yourself. Because we haven't heard a single word about you as being the star of this movie. but about Artur. So thank you for that.
No, but actually Artur is the real star.
But being serious, I have a question, because you know, I think you are even smarter than beautiful you look today. And my question is, which is a pretty serious question, I believe. It's like, how do you feel you are changing? It's not about, okay, Bollywood, India, but about women playing such a serious roles in global filmmaking. It's really not about India, Poland, US, anything. Because, you know, my feeling is that, you know, you are one of these very, unfortunately, very, very few women all over the world changing this image of women and actresses playing in movies. So what do you think is the future for you and actresses like you?
Now that's a tough question because I'm not God, so I don't know what future is holding for me. But all I can say is that right from the beginning of my career, I've always tried to give an honest performance. I've always tried to do my best as an actor. Because for me, my fans and my audience mean a lot to me. Because today, whatever I am, and I'm a star because of them. And I totally feel and I totally honestly believe in my heart that every star that shines doesn't shine because of themselves, but they shine because of the love that people give them. So I'm a product of the love of all my fans. And what really scares me with each film is that I never want to disappoint my fans. So I keep trying to work harder and harder. Artur, do I work hard? Okay. So it's very important for me to keep trying, keep making films that entertain, and also somewhere I feel that because I've been in the industry for so many years, I should do films which also have a social message. Because yes, songs and dances are great. I've done them a lot in my career, and I love them. Like honestly, if you'll ask me to dance now, I would dance. Dancing is my first love. I love doing romantic drama. I love romancing my heroes, especially Shah Rukh and Salman. But yes, I think there is a time where the audiences want a little more from you, and unfortunately, like my colleagues, they are romancing 20s and 18-year-olds. I can't romance 18-year-olds. So I have to be more realistic about myself and do films like Mardaani, and continue to do films like this which entertain, at the same time it comes with a message. Having said that, I think I would love to be an actress, not only known in India but around the world, and not only by audiences who watch Indian films, but audiences who watch every kind of cinema. And I feel I'm still very young. I have a long way to go. So if in the future I have, if I get an opportunity to work with directors from Europe or directors from outside India, I'll be very, very happy. Maybe with the specs who wants to ask me a question, she's very cute. Yes, you, yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit...
I mean, as much as I do love you, Rani, because I do have a question for Mr. Artur.
Yes, come on, Artur.
I wanted to ask, because I believe most of us, or if not all, we do know your work. I wanted to ask, what was the difference working here in Europe and working in India? Because being a fan of Indian cinematography for years, I know that the style of filming is different. So how did you find yourself there, and are you going to maybe try to make that kind of relationship again? Thanks.
The biggest difference during the shoot in India was the amount of people on the set. And Rani always was helping me with this issue, because even to make quite easy shot, we have to remove many people staying in front the lens.
Yes, so me and Artur were partners in crime. Yeah, we're partners in crime. And what I love about Artur was that when the unit would start talking, which is a trait which we Indians love to do, we love talking. And Artur would go, Artur, is the shot ready? What happened, Artur? What do you need, Artur? And then I should say to my director, Dada, Artur is getting disturbed. I think he needs silence. Silence on sets! Okay, can we shoot now? And then Artur with his voice, Rani, can we shoot now? We need silence. I can't shoot like this. So we had to look after Artur. He was the baby on the sets.
So that's the full explanation.
This might be one of the very last questions, but it's going to be...
No, in fact, I'm enjoying the questions. Can we have more?
As I heard, okay, this time to both of you actually, and I kind of organized some small project about fighting against human trafficking in Africa actually, but believe it or not, it started in India because that's what I have seen there. It inspired me to do this. So my question is, because it's not usual movie for India. It's usually we used to watch the fairy tales, and this is also about some tough problem. And the question is if you thought about some follow up. I mean, because you said it's has been received in India very well. It's not usual movie, and it's talking about like a serious problem. So, did you thought about some organization or something which, people are like engaged into the movie, as you said, about the girls like fighting with the boys. So, did you thought about some follow up, like to use this platform and do something more?
No, we haven't actually thought about it, but we have honestly been thinking about it in a way that we want to do something concrete, like have something like a Mardaani Foundation. But I think that will take a bit of a time because in India, some things to actually give it authenticity and to really do it properly, it takes a bit of a time. So we haven't really thought of a serious follow-up about it, but everybody's coming up with ideas. And in the meanwhile, I'm trying to go and talk on trafficking and try to create more awareness on this topic, because after the film, when I met up with a lot of NGOs and I spoke about this, they were seriously in a lot of happiness that this film was made, because they said that Rani, because of Mardaani, we've suddenly got national attention again, and we've brought the focus onto trafficking. So I think it's very important that for NGOs, it just gives them a little boost to even go there and further do something with more enthusiasm. They already are very hands-on and they are working towards this issue. But I'm trying my level best that whenever I get an opportunity, I can go and talk on any platform that is given to me.
I wanted to ask really two questions to Rani ji. One short one. You said that now you cannot romance 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, so my question is, why not?
Yes, actually, why not? I would love to. But somebody has to make a script on that.
Yes. But I think it's great that you are making a film that is centered around a female character, which is still very rare. I have only this one reservation about the overall message, because your character starts out as a protector of law, and she eventually decides to take the law into her own hands. Right. So would you say that this is the only way to solve the problems of human trafficking in India, and is this the best?
No, it's not. No, it's not. But this is one of the ways, because what we also wanted to show in the film, because the film is so dark, and the film talks about such harsh reality, that I think overall I think the team had to take a decision that at the end the audiences get a little relief, and also the fact that the young children were wronged, and we wanted to show a little inspiring end, a little end where you feel satisfied that there was some revenge taken against the perpetrators of law. Because the ones who actually break the law, they are breaking the law and they are actually breaking it, and they are going ahead and they are doing stuff. And basically the ones who are following the law are just, suffering. So I think through this film at the end, we just wanted to show that there's sometimes when people try to misuse law in the country, like how Walt's character at the end says that, this is India, and you're going to put me inside the jail, but you see, with my influence, I'm going to come out. And that's when she decides and says that, really, are you actually telling me this? But you're going to come out if you actually are going to leave this room first. So it's basically it's also a cinematic liberty at the end that has been taken by the writers. But I think it was a collective decision that they wanted to show that this person who has wronged so many girls, he meets his fate at the end where he gets finished off by the girls itself.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I would like to say something, Rani, in Hindi, because Rani is here and she's just talking in English and all the time.
Who's talking English?
We all are talking in English, but I would like to say you something in Hindi.
Okay.
And then I have one question for Artur. Rani, बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद.
Actually, Artur speaks very good Hindi. Just say something.
Yes, Artur, please.
Artur would really entertain us with his Hindi.
Question, please. Ja też mówię Artur po polsku, bardzo so chciałbym Cię zapytać, co Pan powie nam po angielsku.
Is that Hindi or is that Polish?
No, this is...
He's speaking Polish or Hindi?
रानी, मैं यहाँ पर 25 साल से रह रहा हूँ पोलैंड के अंदर, तो मैं अभी आर्तुर से ये कहना चाह रहा था कि वो हिंदी में भी बोले.
हाँ, अच्छा, आप हिंदी में कुछ बोलिए आर्तुर. Artur, some words that you used to tell us where we should. Come on, don't be shy.
Yes, please.
Maybe your favorite song in Hindi.
No, I mean the main word was cello. Cello means faster.
Yeah, actually, Artur spoke a lot of Hindi. I think he's forgotten now. We have to take him back to India for another movie.
Artur, कैसे हो? कैसे हो आप? Artur, Yash Raj. Artur, ja mam jedno pytanie, jeżeli tylko. Mam pytanie, że jak Ci się podobało w Indiach, pracując wśród Hindusów, i czy tęskniłeś za Polskę, i poza tym czy chciałbyś wrócić do Bollywoodu i chciałbyś dalej pracować z nimi tam?
Three questions, yeah?
3 in 1.
Artur, answer in English because I didn't understand the question.
Yeah, it was very good time for me being in India, really. Of course, I was missing my family. I was missing Poland a lot. And the third question was if I would like.
Come back to Bollywood.
Yeah, you know, I would like, but now for me the most important is good script. If there will be something like that, with pleasure, I will go.
Anybody else? Yes.
Hi, Rani and Artur. I would like to first thank you very much for amazing work that you've done. I'm representing an NGO that is working in Delhi, actually, called You Can Free Us, and we're actually launching right now in Poland. So the movie that you made is just amazing, and I hope it's going to be amazing too, to raise awareness in Poland. So basically, I don't have questions. I just want to thank you for amazing work, for raising awareness, for becoming a voice to all those women and children that are trafficked around the world, including Poland, unfortunately. So it's just huge thank you to you and to the entire team. Thank you so much.
So I don't have a question, but first, sorry for my English. I want to say thank you for an amazing movie. This is the first movie that I have seen that not show the love, the colorful India, but the reality, the heavenly India with the girls. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of you, and since I'm a small child, so I'm a big fan of you since I was a small child.
Oh, so sweet, thank you.
So, and you're just amazing, I love you. Your smile is so beautiful and really, and I hope that I hope that you will win for Mardaani a film.
Wow, sweet.
And yes, and thank you to Artur for the amazing work, and really, and I hope that I will see you soon with Salman or with Shahrukh.
Yes, I must go and call them up and tell them that.
मैं तुमसे प्यार करती हूँ. You're amazing.
Oh, sweet. मैं भी आपसे बहुत प्यार करती हूँ. Thank you everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for making this day in Poland and Warsaw so special for me. I'm going to cherish this all my life. Thank you.